My Welsh friends, do I have an episode for you? If you are somebody that feels like they are always trying to improve, but you never feel like you get there, you never feel good enough, you never feel like the new habit that you're trying to incorporate into your life ever sticks, and it just leaves you feeling like perpetually not good enough, perpetually incapable, perpetually lazy, this episode, it's gonna help you so much. I'm so excited for you. What you've been doing to self-improve so far, like adding new things into your life and trying to implement all of these new habits and expecting yourself to execute perfectly and consistently, it just doesn't work because inevitably you're not a perfect machine. Like you are not going to get the thing right 100% of the time, 24/7, 365 until the day you die. That's just a fact. It's just a truth. But we expect it of ourselves. So then we end up just being completely mean to ourselves, beating ourselves up, berating how we operate, berating everything we've done, feeling guilty, feeling shameful, being upset that we can't operate in the way that we see so many other people operating. And it's upsetting. So then we end up just burning ourselves out trying to do all of the things all of the time and it never working. And anything you do from a place of self-hate or even just a little bit of self-dislike is going to wear you down and it's not going to last. And when I say that, I mean it twofold, that you're starting to do the thing because you don't like yourself enough and you think by doing this thing, you'll like yourself more. Or that you're trying to do the thing, and when you're being inconsistent and not executing perfectly the way you pictured in your head, you're berating yourself for doing that, and that leads to self-dislike as well. All of those things will inevitably wear you down, burn you out, and it will not allow the thing that you're trying to incorporate to stick in your life as a natural part of who you are. And that's why this episode is all about how to self-improve without becoming completely self-critical so that you can move in the direction of becoming your aligned self while still maintaining this energy of relaxation and love for yourself. You're going to learn how to make plans that you can actually stick with. You're going to learn how to have high standards, but set realistic expectations for yourself. Your self-trust and your confidence are going to skyrocket because you're going to actually be able to follow through on what you said you were going to do. And you're going to feel so good for being able to incorporate those things into who you genuinely are, allowing you to finally be able to feel good about yourself because you can accomplish the goal that you keep saying you want to achieve. If anything in this episode resonates with you or helps you even just a little bit, please consider rating and reviewing the show. It really does help get the message out to more people that think like you and I and need to live a little bit more wellishly. And if you are an imperfect person that just wants to feel good enough right now, exactly as they are, but always has a mission to improve themselves and become more in alignment with the dream version of you, make sure to subscribe. There's so much stigma around the bare minimum, okay? I literally crashed out in therapy about it the other day, relevant to men and bare minimums and not knowing like what is a bare minimum and like am I only detecting bare minimums? I've been in relationships in the past that I thought that they were doing things for me, but really they were just bare minimums, and like now I don't trust myself to know and detect what a bare minimum is compared to like what's them actually doing something nice and good for me. And it dawned on me that we have these same expectations of ourselves and that there's so much stigma relevant to our own bare minimums, really coming from the things that we see on the internet or what we hear people say or what expectations were placed on us when we were young, like thinking about people that have like the good girl syndrome or perfectionism or anything that people like me and you all are afflicted with, that we get confused about what a genuine bare minimum really is. I mean, think about all of the expectations that are constantly placed on us. We should be able to completely emotionally regulate. We should be confident. We should not be socially awkward. We should look good, be fashionable, hair, skin, nails. We should have a good job. We should be going out and doing things by ourselves. We should be going out and doing things with friends and having a lot of friends and going to events and going to dinners and having lots of experiences. And we should be interacting with romantic partners in specific ways and dating in certain ways and not letting people in until they've proven that they are worthy of our energy, and that we should be doing this all with like the utmost respect for ourselves and self-trust and self-love, and we should be doing all of these 24/7, 365. It's too much. And that's what we've made our bare minimum. Like, we beat ourselves up when we don't show up in the perfect way that we're picturing inside of our head. It leaves us operating in our land of shoulds, and we can never meet that goal. We can never meet that expectation. And so we constantly feel like we're not good enough. And when we look at these high expectations as our bare minimums, we fully ignore our true bare minimums, or at least I do. Like, I know that if I'm not leaving my house, there's a good chance that I'm not brushing my teeth, not washing my face, not brushing my hair, because I'm just gonna jump right into doing whatever it is I want to do for the podcast or for social media or for my job or for, a book club. I want to read my book. Like, yeah, I'm just like fully jumping into like whatever project that I'm working on, completely ignoring like my basic human needs. Or one thing that I'm really bad at is prioritizing eating. Like, if I'm so wrapped up in getting done what I want to get done because I said I was going to get done all of these things in a day, I totally don't make time or prioritize getting 3 meals in. Or if I'm jam packing my day with all of the things that I want to get done, suddenly I'm up until midnight, 1 in the morning, so that I can fit all of those things. And I'm not prioritizing my bare minimum of making sure I get 8 hours of sleep in a night. That isn't a way to live. Like, that's not us enjoying our life experience. It's us making life this self-improvement checklist. And that doesn't work if you want to like live a life that you like. And what the fuck is the point of anything if you're not living a life that you like? Like, you're only living to check things off of a list and make everything like a chore so that you can say, okay, I accomplished this thing, and so I'm good enough now, right? I've proven that I'm good enough now, right? Like, that's insanity. The only point in existence is being able to just exist, is being a human being. My mom said that to me recently. Like, we're just humans being. Like, allow yourself to just be. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to enjoy your life. Here's what we get wrong. We confuse our standards for our expectations. It is 100% important to have high standards. That's something that we all know, that if we have worth inside of our heart, that we know that we deserve the most. We deserve the most love. We deserve the most respect. We deserve the most trust. We deserve the most. So we should have high standards for ourselves. But that does not equate to having high expectations. And people get irritated when I say that you shouldn't have high expectations. But hear me out, okay? Because we could either have high expectations and be disappointed when they're not met, or we could have low expectations and not get the things that we truly deserve because our expectations aren't high. Or we can go into situations with no expectation so that we can be grateful and observant and surrendering to whatever it is that takes place, but not putting ourselves in situations that are less than we deserve because we have high standards. We need to be able to maintain realistic expectations, because if we don't, our self-critic will have a field day with us because we are operating outside of our ability on a day-to-day basis. We're operating at this level of too high of expectations, and when we can't ever reach that goal, our self-critic takes that opportunity to remind us of everything we don't like about us, that you're not capable, just like I knew you weren't going to be. You're not the kind of person that can accomplish stuff like this. And here's all of the proof that shows you that you're not that kind of person. And now you get burnt out and you don't feel good about yourself and you lack confidence and you lack self-trust, and you're not able to do the things that you want to do. You're not able to improve upon the things that you're working to improve upon because your self-critic is working so heavily against you. Like, picture trying to improve with somebody constantly telling you every insecurity you have and every anxiety you have and everything you should feel guilty about and every reason you suck, and giving you all of the proof with real life events of you not meeting your high high expectations. So it's proving to you logically why you are not the person that you are trying to become, compared to having a person next to you that is being self compassionate and graceful and understanding and supportive and finding proof that you are that person just from the mere fact that you're trying to accomplish that thing. Even if you don't get it perfect 100% of the time, you did it these few times. So you are the kind of person that does it. You can do this, you can push forward. Like, what a different experience between the two. Which one of those people is actually going to be able to achieve the improvement that they're setting out to achieve? Obviously, the person that's being encouraged compared to being torn down. At the very least, one of those people is going to have a lot easier time of improving than the other. So, how do you tune into the frequency of the compassionate you and not the critical you? You have high standards and realistic expectations. Having high standards with realistic expectations looks like clearly defining what your bare minimum is. Not what social media says your bare minimum should be, not what other people in your life have said that your bare minimum should be, not what your parents say that you should be capable of, what you clearly define as your own individual bare minimum. What is your bare minimum that you can feel good for accomplishing, but that you can still accomplish it even on your very worst day? For me, and this is what works for me, it might not be what works for you. You have to find what works for you. But I come back to the categories that I made my vision board based off of. So for me, my vision board has my lifestyle, it has beauty, it has health, it has romance, it has my career. And I can go through each of those categories because to me, that's what makes my life feel full and makes me feel like I'm moving in the direction of the life that I genuinely want to live, my dream life, and choosing a bare minimum for each of those things. And the biggest thing for me is that I would think too long term. Like, I was so trapped in long term thinking and trying to make sure that I was doing the things that would get me closer to this big, big goal. But I trust that that big goal, that long term goal, will always live inside of my mind. That's not going to get lost if I turn to the short term. And I have to focus on the short term in order to accomplish anything at all and feel good about it. So I create bare minimum goals for each day, one day at a time. And chances are, depending on my mood, I'm probably going to do more than the bare minimum, but I have that bare minimum set. And if I do more, great. If not, great. Or maybe I'm going to do more in one category, but I just do the bare minimum in another. But at least I did something for each of those goals that day. And the other thing with this is I know my best changes from day to day. I know my best can change from hour to hour, from minute to minute. So my bare minimums can also change every day, or they can change throughout the day. It doesn't have to be so rigid. Like, I would get so hard on myself that it's supposed to look exactly how I said it was going to look at the beginning of the day. But then, like, the day plays out and shit's not going well, and things are bad, and my mood ends up being something different, or something happens, and you have to go with the flow a little bit and know that your bare minimums are allowed to mold and shift to your life. The important part is moving away from that perfect image in your mind and defining what bare minimum means for you. Once we define what our individual bare minimum is, that's when we can start to create plans we can actually stick with. We then can execute those plans from a place of genuine self compassion and grace so effortlessly, because it's such a different experience to go into executing plans saying, this is my bare minimum, and I know you're capable of achieving that, and you're gonna feel proud when you do achieve it. And you'll genuinely feel good about achieving that thing, but you said that you were gonna do it and you followed through on what you said you were gonna do, compared to setting this like high expectation at the absolute max of your capacity, falling short because the day played out however it did, and you didn't get all the things done that you said you were gonna get done. So now you're a piece of shit and you're lazy and you suck, and I knew you weren't going to be able to do the thing that we said that we were going to do, and now we're never ever going to be the person that we said we wanted to be. Like, what a different experience. It's just not an enjoyable experience to do things like that. And in order to incorporate something and make it a part of your life in a sustainable way, you have to be able to enjoy it. And one of the main ingredients for me to be able to enjoy something is that I have to do it in a relaxed way. Like, I have to feel relaxed while I'm executing the thing instead of feeling like rigid and I need to get it done. And if I don't, what does that mean about me? Like, I operated like that for so long. I need to be able to do the thing and do the thing relaxed. And what I've found is that in order to show up and do the things relaxed, you have to plan for the whole you, not the very best version of you. Now, this requires a bit of accountability, which I know is hard for some of you, but it requires you to notice and admit that sometimes you get lazy, you show up a little bit lazy. Sometimes you're socially awkward. Sometimes you just don't have the money to go out and do all of the luxurious, cool things that you wish that you could do. Sometimes you have to choose yourself and let that be rotting or going out with friends over going to the gym. Sometimes you just can't help it but need a Taco Bell run. Even though you told yourself you were going to eat healthy, you want the Taco Bell run, okay? You have to plan for the version of you who's ambitious and determined and strong and unique and intelligent and capable and confident and knows that she can accomplish absolutely anything that she sets her mind to. But you also have to plan for the version of you who is socially awkward and insecure and broke and anxious. You have to find a way to love and accommodate both of them. And that love can look different. You feel proud of and admire that first incredible version of you, but maybe you love that other version of you as a child that you take care of. Make your self improvement plans capable of being achieved by both versions of you. You create your standards based on what you know that higher version of you is capable of. And you also create your high standards based on what you know that more struggling version of you deserves. Your expectations, though, is where things change because while the first version of you is able to go to the gym 6 days a week and go grocery shopping weekly and meal plan every day and eat healthy 3 meals a day, and she's fashionable and she gets ready for her life every single day, even if she doesn't leave the house every day, and she can make plans and she goes through those plans with the utmost confidence and social exuberance, your struggling self cannot do that. Your most struggling self is where your bare minimum plans come in. Instead of going to the gym 6 days a week, maybe she's only able to do literally any kind of movement, even if that movement is stretching. She's not going to put on a whole outfit and do her hair and makeup and look great, but maybe she is going to brush her teeth, wash her face, and wash her hair. She might not be able to eat perfectly on diet and healthy, but she's going to make sure she eats 3 meals a day and not be picky about what those 3 meals are. Her bare minimum is to just make eye contact with a man if she's single, or not crash out if she's in a situationship, or if she's in a committed relationship, maybe her bare minimum is making sure she gives him a kiss when she wakes up or goes to bed at night. Maybe her bare minimum is going to the event with her friends and just being able to exist there. She doesn't have to be socializing and all the way on 10. And she knows that she can maybe even just show face for an hour and she can leave whenever she wants. She doesn't have to be the epitome of confidence, but maybe when she's feeling insecure, her bare minimum is to make sure she's being self-compassionate. And on a regular day-to-day basis, you're operating between your highest expectations for yourself and your bare minimum. Think of your realistic expectation for your high standards as a spectrum. And if you're operating literally anywhere inside of that spectrum, you can consider yourself improving and feel good about that forward movement. You got to be able to be present in each moment with who you are and know that you are good enough right now, exactly as you are, flaws and all. And you just have to radically accept that as a truth and a fact with no proof necessary in order to feel that way. And then you can always be pointed in the direction of improvement. Like being able to want more for yourself and have these high standards and have realistic expectations in order to meet those high standards, but being able to be with yourself exactly as you are right now and knowing that who you are right now as you are is enough. And when you know you are good enough exactly as you are and you don't need the improving in order to be better, then and only then is when you can start to move towards self-improvement from a place of self-love and knowing that you deserve so much out of this life because of the incredible, capable person that you are. because self improvement isn't about fixing who you are and making who you are better. It's about making your life more of an enjoyable experience. That's it for today's episode. I hope it was able to help you move towards self improvement without expecting perfection and then becoming completely self critical by making your self improvement plans achievable for every lovable part of you. Wednesday, we're sitting down with Brian Sacchetta. He's an author, a blogger, and a mental health advocate that created the brand and the book series Get Out of Your Head. It was literally one of the best interviews I've done in a really long time. He is so well spoken and gave such clear direction on how to actually get out of your head. It was a really good interview. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to tune in to that on Wednesday. And then I also wanted to tell you guys that I am making more vlogs, so you have that to look forward to. I did an entire weekend with me this weekend, actually. You'll see me set up this and talk about the planning this episode and all that good stuff, but just living and existing with me compared to, things just being so rigid. I just think vlogs provide more of a real world image of a person compared to, just sitting on here in front of a camera, in front of the microphone and talking to you guys and giving advice. So I think it'll be super fun and exciting. And this weekend was more of just like a relaxing vibe. But as I'm doing things on the weekends and stuff, I'll be sharing it with you. So it'll be good. I'm excited. So make sure to tune into that. Okay. I love you endlessly. I know you are wonderful. And I hope you know you are wonderful because you are good enough now exactly as you are. I will talk to you very soon. Bye, guys.